Your life is not going to be the same after watching this video, my friend. I can almost guarantee at least one of the things I bring up is about to blow your mind. And I will warn you, it is about to get hella philosophical up in here. It might get a little out there, but I will be grounding this toward the end of the video. So I encourage you to stay to the very end to see how to actually work with this very philosophical concept. But if you're watching this, I would say likely you are some sort of spiritual seeker. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a reality shifter. Whoever you are, I would guess that you have kind of an open mind about the existence of fictional worlds and fictional characters, no? Have you ever thought, do we really create these fictional worlds and characters, or might we be discovering them? I'm gonna dive real deep into this topic, but first, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Hannah and I help people to own their powers and step into the driver's seat of their own lives. Today, I'm gonna be helping you do that by assisting you in getting some clarity on what is often a huge headache of a topic, I feel, the existence of fictional worlds. So again, I ask the question, do we create fictional worlds or do we simply discover them? Chicken or egg? Which came first? Am I right? This is a topic that has plagued me for quite some time, as I have worked with reality shifting ever since I was a kid, and I've worked with fictional character guides. And as I've gotten older, I've become a writer. So I'm constantly like writing fantasy and sci-fi stories and the like. And it got to this point where I'm like, it feels kind of like I'm discovering something here. Not like I'm creating it. It's like I can't force my characters to do things. I can't force certain plot events. They just kind of unfold. It's like I'm learning, like I'm discovering. And I got to thinking about that question. I'm like, am I really creating these characters, or am I simply like kind of looking into their life? Do I simply have like this privilege of being able to see into their lives? And I've been plagued by this question for many, many years. And recently, within the past year, I have come to the answer, my friends, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So when you're asking, is it the chicken or the egg? That is a binary. That is binary thinking, okay? Is it this or this? That limits your options only to two things. And very much that is the thinking we are all in at this time. I'm sure if you start to become very conscious, you'll see that you're asking yourself binary questions like that all the time about everything. But what's happening right now is humanity is ascending. Binary thinking is of the duality reality, if you want to call it that. And that is very much a product of the three-dimensional world. We, as a collective, are now shifting. We are ascending to the fifth dimension and above. And in the fifth dimension and above, we don't have to think in either or. We become multidimensional. And multidimensional thinking will help you shift realities, by the way, if that is something you are trying to do. It is very crucial, in fact, to step into multidimensional thinking if you ever want to be able to successfully, fully shift. But anyways, my friends, the answer to the question, chicken or egg, do we create fictional worlds or do we discover them? Multidimensional thinking says the answer is both and so much more. That is always my answer now when I find myself in binary thinking. I'm like, yes, it is both and so much more. And this can be really challenging for us to wrap our like logical minds around at times, because we are still kind of working on ascending to the fifth dimension and above. We're still kind of slipping back to that third dimensional binary thinking. And it can be really hard to even conceive that that would be possible, that you could simultaneously create and discover something both and have all this other stuff going on and playing into it as well. But basically, that's what happens when you step into multidimensionality. You step out of the space-time matrix and anything becomes possible. But while we're in these avatars, these bodies, these 3D human bodies, it can be really challenging to talk about this, to really anchor into this. But trust me, I have experienced this multidimensionality once now. I did a video on it. I died and went to hell is what I titled it. You can check that out up here. But I can tell you, my friends, if you've experienced multidimensionality before, this will just sort of click for you. And if not, just trust me. Trust me, trust your own intuition. If this is like too much to conceive of right now, that's totally cool. Feel free to disregard it. We don't want to explode anyone's brains here. So this concept of creating a fictional world and then poof, simultaneously we're discovering it exists. This also applies to tulpas and egregores, by the way. And tulpas, if you weren't aware of that, from my understanding, they are essentially like imaginary friends, if you will. I feel like from what I've understood about them, they're probably spirit guides. And there's like these I guess, guides online, like how to create a tulpa and stuff of like creating a tulpa. Well, my friends, if you're creating a tulpa, you are simultaneously discovering that that tulpa has existed all along simultaneously. Likewise, egregores. So these are like collective thought forms. These are basically entities that are created from the collective. Like the energy of just your family dynamic is its own egregore. Political structures in the world, that's a bigger egregore, for example. And these things, they take on a life of their own, sort of, and they can even kind of like manipulate people into doing stuff, and they can implant thoughts in their brain. But that is a rabbit hole for another day, my friends. If you want to know more about that, just let me know in the comments. With tulpas and egregores too, the moment they are conceived of, poof, they've always existed. And we are just discovering that they have always existed. And if you were to say rewind time, you would see that they never not existed, that they were always there. They just weren't in your consciousness quite yet. So I hope this is making sense. This is not super out there. Again, let me know your feedback in the comments. I'm always curious to hear. If you've got further questions, I'm happy to answer them. But now, the important part. So this is a really cool, interesting philosophical idea, right? But how do we ground this? Like, how can this actually be practical in everyone's lives, even if they aren't a reality shifter or a writer? And it all comes down to what I'm always saying. If it can be conceived of, it exists. What we conceive of exists. That's all there is to it. What this means is that you literally cannot have a desire for something if it was impossible to have or experience that thing. The moment you have the desire for something, the moment you want something, poof, there is a reality where that exists, where you are experiencing that, where you have that. That exists, and you are then able to shift into that reality and experience that thing. So that's also why I'm saying when I talk about twin flames, for example, I really don't like when people say, oh, my twin and I aren't meant to be in this lifetime. I call bullshit on that, honestly, because if you want to be with your twin flame in this life, boom, it's possible, my friend. Same goes for reality shifting. If you are aware of reality shifting, you want to shift, boom, you can shift. That simple. Even if it's not manifesting in the physical right now, it doesn't mean it doesn't already exist somewhere in multidimensional space. And if it exists in multidimensional space, my friend, you can shift there. You can experience that reality. I hope that gives you some peace of mind. I hope that makes sense. Let me know, did this totally blow your mind like it did mine? Or have you been hip to this for a while? And if you are a reality shifter, stay tuned, my friends, because I'm about to open the doors to my private mystery school and community, the House of the Spirit Dragon. And actually in the month of June 2023, we're going to focus on reality shifting. We're going to do group reality shifting. Yay. I'm super excited. I will announce more when the doors are actually open. So just stay tuned and I would love to see you there. As always, if this information resonated with you on any level and you would like to share this with others, I'd encourage you to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell to be updated when I post on my super erratic schedule. And as always, my friends, much love to you. Stay powerful.